We're hurting. Our profession is hurting. Dallas officers are hurting. We are heartbroken. There are no words to describe the atrocity that occurred to our city. All I know is that this must stop, this divisiveness between our police and our citizens.
This attack on officers at a Black Lives Matter protest, highlighting racial tensions within this country. Donald Trump issuing a statement earlier on the matter, quote, "Our nation has become too divided. Racial tensions have gotten worse, not better. This isn't the American dream we all want for our children." To political analysts Eboni Williams and Dagen McDowell, to social media has gone absolutely crazy on this thing. What do you make of it? Because I think this is an opportunity, guys, for us actually to have an epiphany as a nation, maybe find a way to make things better, or keep rolling this ball down the hill and it gets worse.
Charles, exactly right. We have a choice today in this country. We can decide that we're okay with the fact that if you're a black person in this country, particularly a black man, you walk around with the presumption of criminality and aggression. That if you are in law enforcement in this country, black, white, purple, or brown, you are presumed to be racist and dangerous and against civilians. Or we can decide that that's not okay in America, and that we're going to do an about change of course, and we're going to have a serious, not just conversation, but take some action steps around remedying these presumptions that cost people their life.
You know, here's the thing, though, Dagen. I covered President Obama's speech last night, and then I heard him speak again today. And I really wish that the things he said this morning about the police officers he had included in his speech last night. You know, individuals have their own anxieties, and a lot of people who just go day to day trying to pay their rent and raise their kids. They look to leaders and leadership, and they could either stoke fears, anger, and anxiety, or they could try to calm them. And I feel like, in the political sense, we haven't been seeing that kind of leadership. Be quite frank, from a lot of people.
I want our political leaders, those we've elected to office, even the highest office in the land, to channel the police chief in Dallas and to channel that voice and that composure and measure in terms of trying to unite this country. I said earlier on the news channel that I would like to hear President Obama give the eulogy at the funerals of these police officers, a eulogy as impassioned as the one that he gave at the funeral for Reverend Pinckney after the Mother Emanuel shootings, where 9 people died. Because again, you're talking about one individual, racially motivated. Are we going to paint all police officers in the same way, where you take a broad brush and based on isolated instances of violence and death, are you going to paint everybody that way?
I would love to see that too, Dagen, and I think the president would do an impassioned and fantastic job with those eulogies. I also feel like I listened to the speech as well last night, Charles, and I heard a lot of that measure, as Dagen said. I heard the president speak very specifically about how the presumptions around communities of color or whatever are actually dangerous for police, because if they can't feel confident and comfortable in the communities they are engaging with, that is a problem for them, and it almost seems prolific.
I want to add one thing to that before Charlie gets in here. You have seen the public gets hurt when police pull away.
That's exactly right.
You've seen investigative stops in Chicago have dropped dramatically. Gun confiscations dropped dramatically at the same time that you've seen violence escalate.